So we are actually doing completely fine here, which I like. Hey everyone, this is Echos, and today I'm bringing you another playthrough of Ugly Gryphon Inn. Why do I say another one? Well, if you have followed my channel closely or have been here from the very beginning, about a little more than a year ago, then you might know that I already recorded 2 playthroughs of the base game. The first one I lost, and this is why I had like a little rematch to win on camera, which I did. And that is great. But there is a lot of expansions here. And just like I'm doing it with Food Chain Island, I want to play through all the expansions here on the channel so you can see how they all work. So today we will be playing with the expansion More Patrons. That is an older expansion. I think the first one that was released. We will play with that today. And well, let me just quickly set up the game and then we can get started. Alright, and that is pretty much the setup of the game. You see that nothing really changed compared to the base game, but we do have a few more patrons in here that are new. And also, instead of having to have 7 patrons at the end of the game, we need to have 8 now. And that is pretty much all that changed. So we do have a few new patrons. I will speak about them when they come up. The first one is already here. And this one is not too easy usually, but I think we're quite lucky that we drew him in the very beginning. So if the king is at the top of the inn, then it irks the patron in the room directly below, and the king cannot be in the bar at the end of the game. But we have it in the very beginning, so we can just put it in the inn, and then that's already fine. It can't irk anyone below there. So I will not go over all the rules again. If you want to know the rules first, then I suggest that you check out the other video I have, or the other videos I have on the game, especially the first one where I talk about the rules. But in general, we have the bar here, and we want to get as many patrons in the inn as possible, and they can annoy each other quite easily, and we definitely want to try to prevent that, right? So now let's start with the inn phase first, which means that we will put one over there, and I will put the king at the inn. Let's put him a little like this. I will put him at the inn for now. Alright, and then we go through all the phases here. If the king is at the top of the inn, then we irk the patron in the room directly below, but the king is not at the top of the inn at the moment, so that is fine. Alright, and then we draw another card and put it here at the bar, and then we see whether or not we have one of these quirks like 3 times, and we don't at the moment, so that is fine. So we are actually doing completely fine here, which I like. Okay, and that is pretty much already the first turn. So let's continue. If there's no food at the inn, we do have food at the inn. So this one would be fine to get over there, but yeah, well, that one. If there's more beer than food in the inn, if we put that one there, then we don't have more beer, so that would be fine as well. If the wizard is at the top of the inn, this one could be an issue because it would put the patrons below him back in a random order, and we don't want to do that with the king, right? If there are 3 or more beer in the bar, at the moment there are 3. If we take this guy, or if we take them over there, then we only have 2 beer, but we could draw another one. So these 2 are a little bit difficult. So I suggest we go with the warbear or the bunny prince. Let's go with, I don't know, I don't really care too much, I would say, but let's go with the bunny prince first. Yeah, let's go with the bunny prince first and put them right here. All right, if there's more beer than food at the inn, that's not the case. We have 1 beer and 2 food, that is fine. And the king is not at the top of the inn, so that is fine as well. All right, then we take this one here, and we don't have 3 of the same quirks, so that is fine. Okay, if there's noise directly above or below this room. Below the room there is noise, right? So we will not put the sleepy summoner there. So, well, then let's put the warbear just like we wanted to. If there's no food at the inn, there is food at the inn. If there's more beer than food, there is not more beer than food, but now we have 2-2, so we need to get food next, and the king is not at the top of the inn, so that is fine. Okay, now we have the teetotal none. Let's see, if there's beer directly above or below this room, there would be beer. That is bad. If there's noise, there is no noise below this room. So we could take the summoner, actually. You know what? Let's take the summoner, because then we would have more food again, which is important. So let's put them right here. All right. And after that, I will start stacking them here on the left, like I did in the other videos, because otherwise I would have to pull up the camera even more, and then you wouldn't be able to see anything at all anymore. So I think like this is fine. I can maybe, you know what, let's just have a little space here like this, so we know that's the inn, and then if we put them like this, then we can actually put one more card up here before we start stacking on the left. Okay, so noise directly above or below this room, that's not the case. No, that's fighting here. Then if there's no food at the inn, there is food at the inn. More beer than food, there's more food than beer, that's fine. And the king is also not at the top of the inn. Alright, so don't draw a noise. We drew a noise. That is bad. That's a new one as well. If neither the top nor the bottom of the inn have beer. Wow, that's a pretty tough one. But we now have that noise quirk 3 times here. So now these are all going to be irked. That is bad. That is really unlucky. Alright, if there's noise... so the summoner walks out of the inn, casting a spell as she leaves. Draw a card and add it to the bottom of the inn. Okay, so we lost our first patron. If there are 8 or more that have left the inn at the end, then we lose the game. Alright, so we will pull all of these up, because we need to add someone down here. The sensitive hunter. Okay, let's see. And then this one is irked as well. The bear leaves. He tries to eat the patron directly below, so that patron runs away and leaves too. Alright, so the warbear leaves, and also the bunny prince leaves. Remember, if another one leaves because of an effect, then we don't resolve that effect here. Just leaves. Okay, we already lost 3 of 8 patrons. That is not a good start. Okay, so yeah, doesn't look too good. If there's more food than beer at the inn, that's not the case yet. That is fine. Oh, he's at the top of the inn, but we still need to put something there. Alright, okay. Then let's... the genie is really difficult because of all these things, but both have to be... but the top as well as the bottom always needs to have beer, so we can only put guys with beer up there. Well, then let's do that. Let's put this one up here. I think that's the best thing to do. If neither nor the top or bottom of the inn have beer... Oh no, one of the 2 needs to have beer, not both of them. Okay, then it's fine again. Because the bottom one, as long as that doesn't leave, that's fine. Even if he leaves, we still have the king that has beer. That's all. Everything's full of beer. If the king's at the top of the inn, not the case. If there's more food than beer, also not the case. We have a lot of beer here. Okay, wonderful. And we have another quirk that is triggered, because we have 2 fighting here now with the goblin triplet, and also another fighting there. And we have a fighting here. So that means the hunter leaves. On his way out, he abandons a rotten stag carcass in his room. All patrons in the inn irked by smells leave too. This one leaves, but we have no one that is irked by smells, so these just go down here, and that is fine. Okay. This one would be okay to actually move up here, because that one only triggers if there are all 3 goblins here, because this goblin triplets, there are 3 of them, and if all 3 are in there, then he leaves, so that one is fine. We can just put that one there. That is fine. We still have beer at the bottom, so that is okay. Alright, if there are 3 goblins at the inn, not the case. If neither the top nor the bottom of the inn have beer, not the case. We have beer there, and the king is not at the top of the inn either, so that is fine. Alright, so how many do we have here? 4, right? Yeah, that's halfway already. We already lost half. Alright, so if there's an equal amount of food and beer at the inn, that is almost impossible since we have so much beer here, right? But at the moment we have equal amounts actually. This one would be interesting, but we need to get one of these 2 gone. If the wizard is at the top of the inn, yeah, we can't get that one in there at all, because he's going to shuffle them in another order. And that could be, well, it would only be an issue for the king. So we could put something there now and then the wizard after that. If there are 3 or more beer in the bar. At the moment we have 2 here. It's possible that we draw another one, so this one would not be a good idea to put there either now. I think we will put the none there for now. Oh no, let's put the time mage there. I think the time mage is fine. Well, but we have the... But the sounds don't matter here, right? Because the noise quirk doesn't matter at the moment because we don't have anyone that reacts to noise. So actually, yeah, let's take the time mage for now. Like this. It's an equal amount of food and beer at the inn. That's not the case. We have 3 beer, 2 food. 3 goblins, not the case. We have beer at the bottom, that's fine. And the king is not at the top of the inn, so that is fine as well. So if there's no beer at the inn, we definitely have beer. So that one will be easy to put up there. So let's see. Actually, well, what we could do now is now use the clumsy wizard, right? So these 3 would be shuffled. They'll be fine. I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to put him there. And then if the wizard is at the top of the inn, that's the case. So we will take these and just shuffle them in a random order like this. And that is almost the same configuration we had before. If there are 3 goblins at the inn, not the case. Equal amount of food and beer, that is also not the case. You have almost only beer. If neither the top nor the bottom of the... We still have beer there, we have beer there, everything is fine, and the king is not at the top. So everything is good here. Okay. So we have to smell here. Alright, so we're doing okay at the moment. We're doing okay. I think we kind of got it now. At the beginning it was rough, but now it's better. If the sorcerer is on the 5th floor or higher, well, that would be the case. So we will try not to put the sorcerer there. If there's no beer at the inn, well, we have so much beer, right? We have so much beer here, so that is completely fine. So let's put the satyr right here, like this. Alright. If there's no beer at the inn, there is beer. So just imagine here that this one is just going up, right? This one is above that one up there, right? We go this way and then this way. So... Then the wizard is not at the top of the inn, not 3 goblins here. We have no equal amount of food and beer because we have 4 beer and 3 food. That is fine. So we would need to put more beer in next round. We have beer at the bottom and the king is not at the top of the inn. That is fine. Okay, so no Urks triggered. So we have 1, 2, 3 food and 4 beer. So we need to put beer in here now. If there are 3 or more beer at the bar, we can now take the ranger because we only have 1 beer here. So it's not that possible. It's not that likely that we will Urk this one. So let's put them up here. If there are 3 or more beer at the bar, not the case. If there's no beer at the inn, there is beer. Not the top of the inn. No 3 goblins. No equal amount of food and beer. Beer at the bottom and at the top. And the king is not at the top either, so that is fine. So now 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. We need 1 more here in the inn, at the inn, but then we are still not done because we need to go through the entire stack here, right? To the entire deck in order to win the game. Okay, there's another goblin. Now we need to be a little bit careful. Oh, this one triggers here. The smell one triggers. Oh no. And these are irked by smells. So the wizard, yeah, the wizard leaves here and he will put those back in a random order again. So let's do that like this. Now these are in a completely different order. Okay. And then also this one is irked. The goblin reminds his brother of a shadow brawl. The old brawl starts again and all goblins in the inn leave. Well, it's only that goblin, so that one leaves as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 more and we lose the game. Oh no. Alright, so these all move down like this. Okay. That wasn't too great. Alright, so now we need to put something there. 5th floor or higher, we still don't want to do that. Well, let's put the goblin there now, right? Because there's no other goblin here, so that is fine. Let's put the goblin. in the inn. So 3 goblins, no. 3 or more beer in the bar, not the case. No beer at the inn, well, we have beer. If neither the top nor the bottom have beer, the bottom has beer. As long as the king stays in there, we are pretty safe with that one. Time match, if there's an equal amount of food and beer at the inn, that's not the case. I think we have 4 beer and 3 food. 1, 2, 3, 4 beer, and 1, 2, 3 food. So we need to put beer there next. And we have another Urk that we have the noise Urk now. So the goblin here, same thing. Goblin reminds his brothers of a childhood brawl. The all brawl starts again. All goblins leave. So if one more leaves, yeah, and that one leaves as well. So I think we lose the game. All right, I just had some technical difficulties, so it's possible that you see a pretty rough cut here, but nothing, nothing changed. So the Rusty Ranger doesn't leave directly, but they open the window and attempt his trick shots. Urk the patron 2 rooms below, which is the Thirsty Genie. The genie leaves and snaps her fingers on the way out, and then will shuffle all the remaining patrons. But if that one leaves, doesn't matter, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 patrons have left the inn, so we lost the game, which is really a shame. It's a shame because I think we had a rough start, but then it worked quite well. But these stupid goblins, they really messed this up. Like these 2 goblins here, they really messed us up because they removed a lot of patrons from the inn, and we had to draw them like all one after another. They are pretty tough because they have like this many Urks here, so these are quite tough to handle. And this time they actually they actually made us lose the game. All right, but that was my playthrough of Ugly Gryphon Inn, this time with the More Patrons expansion. I hope that you enjoyed my playthrough, and I hope you're in for the ride of me playing through all the other expansions. There are still 3 more in here, and they all play quite differently. This is just the only expansion that adds more patrons as far as I'm aware of, so the other expansions are way more different and interesting. Alright, if you're still watching, thank you very much for doing so. I really appreciate that. And why don't you head over to my channel, check out my other videos. There are a lot there that you might enjoy. I'd love to see you there. And apart from that, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the very next video. Alright, take care everyone, and cheers.